We're very excited to have a natural gas station there in Heber City as a fill station. It provides another option for those people who drive compressed natural gas vehicles. Heber City, we've got a lot of folks who live here who commute to Salt Lake, Orem, and Provo every day who have these kind of vehicles, so now they'll be able to fill up here instead of down the lower valley. We have a lot of folks who come through, tourists on weekends and during the week. We think this is a great addition to Heber City.
Okay, this station's located in Heber, Utah. It's one of many that went in over the infrastructure in the Utah. Questar Gas received grant money from Utah Clean Cities through the American Resources Grant Fund, and they've installed stations up and down the I-15 corridor, plus off of that corridor in both Vernal and in Heber City.
Natural gas is the same gas that's in your home, in your house, for your dryer, your stove, where natural gas is 100% sealed all the time. Natural gas is 130 octane, so if the engines like the Honda behind me are built for natural gas, they actually have more horsepower than the gasoline models, and the new vehicles run just as well on natural gas. And as you can see on the pump, it's $1.25 a gallon, and that's for 120,000 BTUs, which is more than what a gallon of gasoline is. So if a car gets 20 miles per gallon on gasoline, it's going to be 20, 21, 22 on natural gas. So,
well, economically, I hope it affects us positively. Heber City receives its portion of sales tax on commercial businesses, and so the more gas or the more fuel that's sold, the better it off is for Heber City and its residents.
And all of it that we use here is produced in the U.S., most of it Utah or Wyoming, so huge revenue, American jobs, American fuel, cleaner, cheaper, safer. It's just a win-win. But we fought a chicken and egg problem for a lot of years. You can't do stations without cars, you can't do cars without stations, so that's why we're trying to overcome this. So,
compressor stations for the public in Utah is the second largest CNG infrastructure within the United States.
To drive from Logan all the way to LA on natural gas without a problem. So, and there's a lot of stations being built in the United States now to where we're trying to connect on I-80 and 70 and other states. So a lot of growth, a lot of movement. 50% of the refuse trucks built today are natural gas. Almost 30% of the transit buses built, so that's growing, and more of the heavy duty going that way.
I quoted from the movie Field of Dreams, where they said, if you build it, they will come. I think by having a fill station here, it will plant the idea in people's minds that they can get a vehicle that runs on natural gas, they can fill it up right at home. There are other stations down in Salt Lake and the Orem area. I believe it'll help promote the alternative method versus gasoline cars, diesel trucks.
So today we can fill virtually many more vehicles, probably we estimate about 15,000 in the state operating now, and they're able to fill at the public stations, and we could accommodate 2 to 3 times more of that right now. So we're equipped in this state to fuel public vehicles with CNG for the next several years.
Because 80% of what you're burning is hydrogen. The only byproduct of burning hydrogen is water. That's why, these cars behind me are almost zero emission. If you look at the full cycle of power generation and everything, they're actually cleaner than an electric car. Not cost effective if you don't drive very far, because there are some costs, $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000 depending on the unit and where it comes from. But if you commute very far, or for anybody that uses a lot of fuel, it really works well. This is a great place. It's a key spot, on I-40. And it keeps us in for a lot of people traveling to Colorado or out to Vernal. We put a station in Vernal last year, so or anybody just coming out of the city going to Strawberry now can fuel up. So it's a good spot, it's a good partnership, and we're just glad to have it here.